Greetings, my name is Jason Marcellus, and this video is about an evolution of a point of view. Someone had sent me a video where a musician used a clip of my video where I'm being a 7/8 troll. I'm talking about the Nerd 7 clave, and then the guy proceeds to demonstrate his music where he uses the Nerd 7 clave, even though he does a lot more interesting things with it. But it's a video worth checking out. But in that video, I noticed this comment where a gentleman mentioned that he and I were at this dinner, and I was annoyed that Miles Davis was playing Thelonious Monk's Blues Straight No Chaser in the key of F, and so my criticism was par for the course. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that is while I don't remember the dinner, I definitely know that's a true story because I remembered that point of view. The thing is this, Miles Davis is great at presentation, and so he made a lot of great albums, and therefore a lot of musicians would learn tunes from his albums. But the thing is, Miles Davis would make these changes, and sometimes that wasn't correct or wasn't original to the tune, and a lot of guys would learn it thinking that that was how the tune went and not considering, well, this is just Miles's view of it. And so I'm sure at that time I was saying, oh yeah, Miles is messing it up for everybody and he's playing Straight No Chaser in the wrong key because Thelonious Monk played it in B flat. But then the more I thought about it, I realized Miles had a legitimate reason to play it in the key of F, and it had to do with the arrangement. Because the melody was played by John Coltrane and Cannonball Adderley, and John Coltrane was on the lower part of the tenor saxophone, and Cannonball Adderley was an octave above him. And then they had a part where they played harmony together, they harmonized some of the notes. And honestly, in the key of B flat, you wouldn't have been able to do that. They would have been in unison, and I mean, what's the point of that? So I said, yeah, he had a reason to play that, but I think it's good to just know Miles's version is in the key of F, but Thelonious Monk did write it in B flat. And there's some other examples of this where Miles recorded Benny Carter's tune When Lights Are Low, but he played the wrong bridge. And honestly, I can see in those sessions being very informal that they were probably trying to remember the bridge and then realize, oh man, because the bridge is tricky. And they were like, man, hey man, let's just take the A section and play it up and forth. All right, roll tape. Because it can be easy to forget how informal those sessions were. Because now they're seen as these classic albums. And I'm pretty sure that those guys weren't thinking, yes, 40 years from now, musicians are going to be transcribing these arrangements. No. So there's an informality there. Another thing that happened was with Benny Golson's tune, Stablemates, where they changed the chords to the first two measures. And I don't know if it was Miles that came up with or pianist Red Garland, but I can see somebody say, hey man, check these chords out. Oh man, that's nice, man, we ought to do that. And then they record it. And so there's an informal aspect of that I wasn't considering or thinking about. Later on, I realized, yeah, Miles had a reason of playing it in F. So nonetheless, while that comment is true, there are some things that evolved as far as my point of view.